What is up, everybody? My name is Eris, and I'll be your ferryman today, taking you guys back to the Forgotten City. So let's get right into it. Okay. So previously, we went down to the cistern, and we found where Scintilla is. Which, if we help her escape, is the first ending. Yeah, I bet you do. However, there are 3 other endings, and I didn't let you guys see the full ending because there's some surprise factors to it that I would like to leave out for a little bit longer. So he's cleaning.
Don't you just love springtime?
Hi, Hilarious.
Salve, friend.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend.
Hi.
Now, what's on your mind?
What do you think about the golden rule?
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
Oh, no, that's fair. That makes sense. Thank you.
All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
You can get verbally assaulted. I'm gonna go away. Okay, so talk to Fabia. We haven't heard a lot from her.
Shiny.
Shiny!
Salve and welcome. Need something?
Yeah, what's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. I mostly just bake bread and try to help out where I can.
How did you end up here?
I suppose it all started about 8 months ago. I was living in Rome with my family when I got sick. Terrible timing. My pa had just arranged a husband for me. A fisherman's son. I was about to meet him for the first time when I came down with an awful fever. I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to Asclepius, a white rooster, then a goat. But nothing worked. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. Clean air in the countryside would do me good, they said. But after about a day in a carriage on the Appian Way, I was getting worse, not better. I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep, because when I opened them again, I was in a forest by a river. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and
you were
here
alone?
I am.
That's how most of the others were in Rome when they woke up in the forest, but you're saying you were a day's ride away?
Oh yeah, I suppose you're right. Hadn't really thought about it. But the gods are mysterious and powerful. Who knows what their plans are for us?
Do you know a way out of here?
What? You've been here a few moments and you're desperate to get out already? Why not give the place a chance before you try to leave? Good people here. Galerius works hard on the farm so I can put food on our tables.
Galerius, yeah.
And Lucretia tries to keep us healthy. My friend Georgius is always mending our clothes. And Virgil makes sure these old walls don't fall down around us. Well, he does his best. I'm just saying, there are worse places you can live out your days.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So I'm gonna go.
All right. Thanks again for taking care of our problem. I won't forget it.
You shouldn't remember it, because Galerius did it. How'd you do?
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
I know the
You're
answer.
not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
For them.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but...
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
Something like that, but...
If I die and go to Tartarus because they say I've been bad?
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
Thank you, Galerius. Thank you.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, all right?
All right, Galerius. See you then.
That's so sad. What's up here? So we made all kinds of money. It is all up to me, thank you. Cool. Okay. So we made all kinds of money. So what's going on? We have 3,783. You guys can't see it because my camera's in the way. I'm just a touch bit stubborn, I think. However, I am being a bit of a hoarder. So we need 2,000 to save Ulia and Opus from their servitude. However, I want to be a little bit of a trickster, and I want to see if I could do something else.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
What's your story?
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the Forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives.
I have no idea what that means.
They never do.
Okay. Can you tell me about the pattern you saw?
You think you wish to know, but you do not.
I assure you I do.
It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
What? What do you mean by that? Do you know a way out of here?
There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
I see. I'll get going now.
The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
I've been here for 2 days. I
lifts his triple
think
head.
I'm ignorant. Okay, so let's explore a little bit.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous
Bottle of
lives,
wine.
but
We're
they
gonna take that.
Ignorant.
So there's multiple ways we can get bottles of wine, right? As I'm showing y'all. There's obviously in there. Then there's the path I took last time, which you shoot an arrow over there, climb up onto there, climb up onto the cliff, and there's a box in there. That is one way. Well, those are two of the ways. I mean, you could buy a bottle of wine too, I think, from What's-Her-Face, who owns the bar. However, I want to explore a little bit. I want to see what I can find. Sure thing. What's up here? Look over the city. It's in here. It's over here. Oh! What? Huh? Oh, there's the dude on the wheel. That continually spins, never ending. Man, Gallius, whatever his name is, he is one smart dude. I'll leave that. There's a way around. I want to find it, so let's go down. I want to get in there. I saw butterflies. I would have pointed them out. I really would have. However, they're not. There's another bottle of wine. I have so many bottles of wine, so I can do this so many freaking times. There it is. Okay, so in here, I don't really care for this. I'm gonna take that. Octavia.
Please leave.
Okay. Apparently she didn't like the fact that I intruded.
What an extraordinary lamp.
It's an amazing lamp. My favorite of lamps. Yeah, I gotta talk to her. I talked to the priestess real quick. Okay, no, keep that away. Keep him away. Okay, we have to go find the priestess. I don't want to talk to the magistrate right now. You up there? No. Are you in here? Yes. Astounding. Salve, my friend.
A new face.
Oh,
Ave,
frick.
And may Vesta watch over you.
Ave.
I'm Equitia.
Ah.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this?
I'm so sick of meeting people. Okay. I've been asking people how they wound up here trying to find a pattern.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed?
Some people mention a river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
Some people mentioned a lapse in memory.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here.
Me neither. Some people mentioned an encounter with a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes, I also had such an encounter. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Yeah, I did, a young woman.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Karen.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie. How could you have known that?
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Ooh, juicy. Alright, I'll meet you in the baths.
Don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
So it wasn't an invitation? Yes, you will. We're going to bath time with the priestess. Oh, why is she taking this path? I thought she runs. Oh, wait, the house we arrived in. I thought it was where Theophilus had his, with 4 women. I thought that's where we were going. Not in here. Oh, I'm no longer. Oh, it's a loading screen, that's why. Look at all the statues in here. I'm just gonna walk through this. She was respectful enough to go around. I'm not. Look at all the people, though. I wonder how many civilizations lived here before us. Okay. This doctor.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it?
The best of
Somebody
lamps.
waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N.
Charon.
As in Charon, the ferryman of the dead.
Hey,
Charon,
my
who, in
sibling!
exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
So, now I'll explain why I cut that ending off and went back. If I didn't cut that ending off, we would go and have this conversation with her. Instead of you all finding it out the organic way. So, surprise! I'm sorry. This place is the underworld?
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all.
Nope,
Perhaps we should
none
be
of us
grateful
did.
they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So, the assassin sent by Emperor Nero. So, I did in fact know this. I did know that we were in the underworld. Okay, I didn't know that. However, the assassin died without knowing he was dead, and still in death, doing the Emperor's work. Interesting. So we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
I don't know why I said we're, because we're alive. The gods brought us here by the power of Proserpina. What can you tell me about Charon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead, meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river.
Not always Charon.
It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
There's also another ferryman in Greek. There's a ferryman named Eris. Eris is a ferryman, and also the daughter of Persephone and Hades. Fun fact. Why didn't you all recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river, but that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you.
That's all the questions I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra.
Hi.
And Aeneas, a Trojan hero.
Hercules
was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Hey, I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from?
Yes.
Oh.
Carry on.
That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
How rude. Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, You'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Away go. Where would I find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Where would I find the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
True. Trespassing isn't an issue. Where'd I find the mystery plaque?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Let's talk about something else. Can we just... tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina, our
As I
guide.
mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt.
Ah, valid,
First,
yeah.
Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
She might be willing to work against him to help
If the
us.
stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
We got a little tea party. It's always the same voice, and she's very helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
I've already found a way to escape.
Truly? Then why are you still here?
Because the path will result in the deaths of nearly everyone here, and I don't want that.
Ah, I see. Then it seems you have made a great sacrifice for all of us.
Well, I did talk to Scintilla.
I admire your compassion. Truly. Thank you. But unfortunately, I'm afraid your only other option will be to confront you-know-who.
Yeah, so I'm guessing... I don't actually know how many endings there are. Just saying. I'm guessing there was 4. There might only be 3, which I've seen 2. But I want to show you guys as many of the endings as possible, like how to get there. The end after getting out of that escape, where I went back, is all the same. To a degree, I mean. That path is the same. Talk to her. And then... if there's anything after it, then there's something after it. The path, the one I took, there's nothing at the end because no one survived. If everyone survives, there's something at the end. But I'm not gonna tell you what it is. All right, I'm ready to get started.
Right.
That's as much spoilery as I can get.
With anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
Yeah, I'll have a chat with her first.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide
the
you.
The Egyptian plaque is gonna have its own video, by the way.
With Proserpina on your side.
However, that is all the time I have for today. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, slap that like button if you want more content from me. Subscribe, and until next time, be good, behave, stay out of trouble, and don't get caught. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!